Hello everybody, today I've got a Planetary production update video. In my last video about Planetary production, I showed you how to set up these planets to get resources out of them. In this video, I'll be showing you what to do with those resources, what your weekly maintenance is going to look like, to give you a better idea of income and how it works and whatnot. So I've got this character here. You can see right here is all the material I've accumulated and what I'm building, what I'm extracting. On this character here, my production planet, which is actually pumping out robotics, is finished with its with the amount I put in. It has robotics ready to go, and then all of these planets are ready to I'm ready to reset them and do my pickups with them. They've got enough material on them. So first thing I like to do when I log on to one of these characters that are ready, my first priority is getting this swapped out. So I've got my robotics here. They're finished producing. You can see from my collection of materials from all my characters, you can see that I still have issues. So robotics use chiral structures, precious metals, toxic metals, and reactive metals. Those are the four materials that go into that. And you can see based off the amount I have here, I've got a bunch of chiral structures and reactive metals, but I'm lacking on those two. So I'm still working on that, still adjusting my my chain to make it to where I have more of these and not so much of these, just to even that out. But first things first, I'm going to get those materials. I've got them here. I broke them up into stacks of 6,000. And that is because, let me show you the planet here. That's because this is how I have my production planet set up. Each one of these little clusters is its own little group. So I've got this facility here producing robotics. And then each one on the side is producing one of the two materials that go into robotics. So basically put the material into here. These structures pull from there to build mechanical parts and consumer electronics. And then this middle structure pulls both of them from the launch pad to produce robotics. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and undock here and get into position. Some things you can do to expedite the process and make it to where you're in less danger. Make sure you have the appropriate amount of ISK. I usually get about 20 million ISK in my wallet. That way, when I'm in the process of doing that, I'm not having to do this while I'm, out in space with all this material. So I'm going to go ahead and warp to the customs office, access it, and I'm going to get the money ready that I need to do this. Usually, I take about 20 million ISK. Oops. Missed the zero there. I take about 20 million ISK. So you can see here, I'm in warp now. While I'm in warp, I'm going to go ahead and get all these robotics. You can see I have 225 from each one. You can see the tax I'm paying right there. While I'm in warp, I want to go ahead and start getting all of these transferred over. That way I'm not, you want to be sitting on the customs office for the least amount of time possible. So there I have it right there. All the robotics are ready for me to grab. I just got to get all of these quickly transferred over. Because I am in low sec and I am in danger. There are people in local, so anyone could pop up at any time. I'm okay with losing my ship, not okay with losing materials. So I'm just going to drag all these and pull them over here. That's all I'm going to do. It's easy as that. Go to each one. And you can actually see it. I'll actually show you here. Once I put all these here and hit transfer, you see how there's 6,000? And then there, it automatically pulls out the material it needs for the current build. So you can see everything's working as it should. And I'm just doing this. Get everything over here, and from here I am good. All the materials transferred over. All four launch pads have something in them and they are pulling, and in a couple days I'll come back and each one of these 6,000 each one of these bundles of 6,000 will be 225 robotics. So from here you want to go ahead and align back to station before you pull this stuff. You want to go ahead and get your align going. I do have a Higgs on this thing. This epithal is stupid cheap. So align, once I hit that 75% mark, grab the material and warp. That way there's zero chance of you getting caught and destroyed right there. So materials in the hold and I'm in warp. If you put your material in the hold right, like automatically, and then align and warp, there's a chance someone could catch you. I've had it happen. I've lost a couple of epithals, but I've not lost any material so far. So warp back to station, and there you go. That's it. This planet is now doing its job. You can see all the materials are here, and you can see these two side facilities are producing the required stuff. and this will be automatic. You don't have to do anything with that. Robotics are being produced, and you're good to go. Now that I've done that, I want to come back here and drop off my robotics. So put that. I luckily have all my alts in the same corpse. They all share the same hangar. Now that I'm done with that, I need to deal with all of these planets. They all have material ready for me to pick up. And you can see by these timers that I'm ready to reset them. So you can see 19 hours. I could let it finish it, but I want to go ahead and reset those. So to do that, I'll show you one real quick. I'm going to go through. I've got all 5 of these planets. I'm going to go through, double click on the extraction, and then stop and start extraction. I'm going to do that with both of them. Stop and start, and right there I just reset those. So now you can see they have 6 days, 17 hours remaining on them. So this is good to go. I don't have to touch this for the next 6. I come back in 6 days and I'll need to reset these again. And that's that. You just go through and do that with all of your planets, and that is it. It is that easy. It takes that, it's that quick. The last thing I need to do before I finish with this character is go through and actually pick up the materials. I usually do it in this order. Deal with the valuable stuff first, reset the extractors, then I go through and do my pickups. And then pickups are this easy. You just warp to each planet. You can see I already have material because one day I was feeling lazy and I didn't need the stuff, so I just undocked and I moved the stuff from the launch pad to the customs office without actually warping. That's a good thing to do if you're kind of running short on time and you don't want to go through and actually pick up all the material. So maybe 1 week you're good on all this stuff and you don't actually need it as much as you think you do. So you can just undock and move it to the customs office and free up your launch pad to collect even more material. So really what I'm picking up right now is about 2 weeks worth of material. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I'm not always on top of it like I should be. I do miss, there are times where I log on to a character and all of these are completely they're either overflowing or, they're full, the material. There's more material in the launch pad that it's full to the brim. So it's basically wasting time. Or these extractors have not been reset in a while. I've definitely messed that up a couple times, just forgetting to log on or missing it, but it's no big deal. That's why I like my setup the way it is, because I can afford to, forget about things and not pick things up and still be good. But like I said, you can easily just undock, stay right there on station, move all the stuff over to the customs office and not actually go pick it up unless you actually need those materials to keep up your T3 production. But here it is. It's this easy. You can see all I have to do, warp to each customs office. If someone were to catch me, say someone's warping around trying to catch me and trying to kill me, all I have to do when I warp to the customs office, you can see that has a 35,000 M3. All I have to do is select all this material, drop it in the customs office, and let them kill the epithel if they catch it. Important thing is I'm not letting this stuff go to waste. I'm not letting myself die with this. If there's not enough room in the customs office for all the material you're holding, put as much as you can back in the launch pad and drag as much of this in there. Kind of figure that out on your own before you blow up. For example, right here, there's not enough room in this customs office, so I'll drag as much as I can of this stuff back while I'm being shot at. And that's about it. Just drag it back to the orbital or to the launch pad, and then drag the material back to the customs office, and you're good to go. This is just saving you from losing material, and you're losing the least amount. You're just losing the ship. You do not have to lose material if you get attacked. Yeah, you can see here, this is a lot of, I definitely need toxic metals and precious metals. These are the two I'm slacking on. And then you can see just from this pickup alone, reactive metals. I'm already getting double the amount of reactive metals as the other stuff. So that kind of highlights a problem with my production chain. Kind of shows you that I'm pulling out way too many reactive metals. I do use reactive metals, and there you go. I'm full right there, so there's nothing. I can't pick up anything else. So I just warp back to station, and I go to this one right here. And I just drag and drop these. So this one, I'll pick this up at a later date. My epithel is full of material, and I can't grab anything else. So yeah, this last planet, I don't need reactive metals. I don't need water. I'm not in dire need of it, so I'm just going to leave it there and worry about that at a later time. But as I was saying, you can see that I have 49,000 reactive metals and only like 20k and 13.9k of the other two in chiral structures. So looking at this character right now, I know that I can go through and I can mess with the chain and I can reduce the amount of reactive metals I'm pulling out and focus more on precious and toxic metals. Now, I don't want to do it to a point where I'm just completely canceling reactive metals. I just want to slow it down a little bit. You know, whether that means deleting a few extraction nodes, setting a production facility to create one more thing of toxic metals rather than precious metals, whatever it is. But you can definitely tell. I do need more reactive metals because I am producing guidance systems, which uses reactive metals. So you can go back here to my planetary production tab. I do produce guidance systems and smart fab units. Obviously, my main source is robotics, but these two right here also use reactive metals, and this one uses toxic metals. But I definitely need to reduce the amount of reactive metals I have. But that is my weekly maintenance. I don't know how long this took me. The length of the video, I didn't speed up or edit it or anything, so you can tell from the length of the video how long. And this is just one character. Typically, I'll do like a couple characters a week or a day, and only, you know, let's say 5-10 minutes per character. Really easy stuff. And again, there's ways you can like cut down on that. If you don't want to go through and do all the pickups, you can reduce time there. But that is the weekly maintenance for one planetary interaction character. Sometimes I'll spend more, like I've been going over this whole production chain stuff. Sometimes I'll spend more time fine-tuning and going through and looking at each of these planets and seeing how I can reduce certain amounts of material. I know I definitely got to go through and look at this and reduce the amount of reactive metals I'm pulling out and increase these two. But that's it. That is just showing you how easy the weekly maintenance is. I'll go ahead and say each character, 900 robotics a week or 900 T3, whatever T3 I'm making a week. So it's good money. There's not much to it. It's a nice little, like for me, it's a nice little daily routine. You know, whatever you do in your life, everyone has their habits and their routines, and planetary production is just one of my, daily routines that I like. I wake up in the morning and have my cup of coffee and sit there and do my planetary interaction. It's a nice little task. I enjoy it, and it makes money. It makes good money, as you can see here, producing all this stuff. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Or if you have any suggestions or feedback, I'm completely open to it. I like my production chain the way it is. I like how my stuff is set up. It works for me and my schedule and my life. But I'm definitely open to hear anything you have to say about it. If you have any tips or anything for me. But yeah, again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll post a link to my setup in the description of this video. I have another planetary production video that shows you how to set these up. I don't have a video up for how to set this up, but this is pretty simple. Launchpad and 3 advanced production facilities, not basic. And then you just set them up to produce whatever the main materials, and then the 2 materials used to produce that main material. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed my content, please leave me a like and subscribe. That support is very much appreciated. And again, any questions you have, please ask. I'm more than happy to help. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys, and I will see you in space.